Jim Hutton. They call me Brother Hutton. I served in the military ever since I was 17 years old, back in 1961. Okay. Graduated from, well, I didn't really graduate from high school, but I was a captain in the Cadet Corps, which gave me an edge on my military career. But the real and the foremost advantage that I had a loving father and a mother. And they were my examples. They taught me how to be fair, tell the truth, and to love others. Now, when I was growing up on a farm back in Virginia, my dad, we planted our own vegetables and raised our own vegetables and fruit in a garden in the backyard. Well, it was a pretty big place. Well, Daddy would take a shovel sometime and turn the soil over, get it ready for seeding. But sometimes he didn't do that. And he would take a plow and put it around his shoulders, and he would pull and I would push. And we did that until all that farmland was plowed up, ready for seeding. So he taught me how to pull and push in life. Even though that my dad was a military man, he was in the Navy, during Pearl Harbor, as a matter of fact. All the men in my family were military people. And I learned from that. And all the time, God was working in my life, getting me ready for these days, these times today. Now, we're going through a lot of things today, a lot of problems. In the book of Daniel said these things are supposed to happen like it's never been before. But using my dad, who didn't know anything about the Bible, I have never seen him read the Bible. And my dad never told me that he loved me until the time came for me to separate from Maryland, because I was the head usher at the Brinklow Emmanuel Seventh Adventist Church in Brinklow, Maryland. Okay, and until the time I get ready to leave that place to go to Oakwood University. Both of my children now finished Oakwood University, praise God. But before I left to go to Oakwood, I went to visit my dad in the senior citizen home. My mom had passed away. My dad was sitting along for a long tube down his nose for to get oxygen. Now, I reached over and I entered the room. I knocked on the door. My dad said, "Who is it?" I said, "It's Jimmy, Dad." His voice softened. He said, "Come in, son. Come in, Jimmy." And I come in, and this touches my heart big time. I reached over, knowing that my dad has never told me he loved me, but I kneeled down beside him and hugged him and kissed him, because I know this may be the last time I'll see my dad. You know what he told me? "I love you, Jim." And that set the precedent. When I left, that's the last time I saw my dad. And I remember at the time went by that my dad was ready to die. He was in the hospital, and my sister called me and said, "Daddy, I want to see you, Jim." And I was far away. I was in Florida, and I couldn't get to him in time. But he passed away. But I knew that he taught me how to cook. He taught me how to drive an automobile. He taught me how to paint, how to carpenter work. He taught me everything. There were many people sitting in the audience at his funeral who did not like my dad because they thought he was a mean man. He wasn't a mean man. He didn't have an education at all. I don't think he finished grade school. So my dad told me that he loved me, and that's the last time I saw my dad alive. Well, what I was saying, that there were many people, my relatives, were sitting in the congregation at the funeral, who knew my dad, but he thought it was a mean, but my dad was not a mean man. He was a loving man, because what he did, he showed me how to work and get along in every facet of my life. And I was very successful, praise God, helping others to give their lives to the Lord. And I went on and got discharged from the military with all honors. I got all kinds of honors in the military. And a lot of people don't realize that. But when I got discharged, I remember I had a hard time. I couldn't find a job, But the Lord blessed me with a contracted office job. I took the civil service examination, passed it with colors. I was hired as a GS5, and I went on up to a GS 12 in the government. A 13. I'm sorry, GS 13. And I had people copying my work because I did it. I negotiated contracts with CDC, the Center for Disease Control, with the Department of Health and Human Services, for the Office of Secretary, for many other, for the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. I did contracts and negotiated them for them. And it was a great accomplishment. And then I left the government. Then I started working on my own as a contracting officer. I was a contractor for helping contractors to get their job done. God has blessed me, and I thank God. I don't want to go any longer. I overran my time. But God bless each and every one to have a blessed Memorial Day. Okay? God bless you. Thank you.